All right,
Rubber
I
Shy
think we
also
are
runs
going
his
live.
own.
All right, hey everyone, we're live with the Little Shy Live Stream reviews for the Washouts. So, what'd you guys think? I thought it was a fun one.
Not
It was
bad.
good.
It was
It was
fun.
good. It was good.
I really like the
okay.
fan art. I really like the fan art in this episode.
It was cute.
Fan art?
I want that Rainbow Dash picture now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
I like how it starts off with the callback to what was the episode? Was it Mare de Will actually? With the
Yeah, it's
the
very
Rainbow
well
Dash
where they
fan?
started the Rainbow Dash fan.
Yeah, it said
Yeah.
it was Mayor Duell.
It kind of felt more like a little bit of the episode where Rainbow Dash meets Gilda again. Just a small callback to it.
Yeah, it does feel like I had a few callbacks to older episodes actually, which
Yeah.
usually is a complaint for me, but I actually think it fit here.
Yeah, it didn't come out as forced.
Hey, did you see the movie,
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Hey, did you see
Which
the
I kind of like that because they did have like 3 of the students, but they were only in the background. That was it.
Yeah, obligatory.
background?
Wait
That's
a
the
minute.
Hasbro
is that-
mandated appearance.
Wait a minute. Is that an animation error?
No.
Probably.
I'm looking at the stream, and apparently Rainbow Dash's wing is like invisible.
No, that would be resampling.
Yeah, you can blame Little Shy for that.
No, blame the stream for that. Anyway, so this was the episode about Scootaloo leaving the Rainbow Dash fandom and joining the furry fandom. No.
Pretty much.
No, I actually like the idea of Rainbow Dash was always like the reckless daredevil, but this episode depicts her as the safety-conscious Wonderbolt, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
My guess is that when she finally became a Wonderbolt, she's like, wow, that stuff was dangerous.
Yeah, she's growing up, guys. See, like people say, oh, there's Derpy. People say, like, yeah, I think that's good development for Rainbow. It's actually really subtle development for Rainbow Dash because it's almost not an episode about her, and yet we have that. So I think that's cool.
I think my favorite part about the entire episode is, well, Lightning Dust coming back, but I like how it's done where they don't hate each other, but they also don't really care for each other. Like, they're not done as just, like, sworn enemies to hate each other. They're just more of done, like, fun, dumb rivals.
Yeah, no, I love how they brought Lightning Dust back and how they didn't just jump to, I don't know, them hating each other. Like, they kind of start off, like, remember good old times? Like, that's very realistic, and I like that. That was cool.
Like, I was afraid the episode was going to end with, Lightning Dust just saying, oh, you're right, this is pretty dangerous. We don't need to do this to get views.
Yes! Oh, the best part of the episode is Lightning Dust didn't get reformed, you know? She's still, like, that antagonist.
She exploded in the sky somewhere, but she didn't get reformed.
A classic villain ending there, better than most of the other villains in this show so far.
Rivals for life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other
She's
way.
the only one that has not been reformed.
They did a lot of things right in this episode. I almost can't think of what they did wrong, actually. That's rare for me.
Yeah.
But Tootsie.
Most of the problems I have in the episode could have easily just been just explained by, oh, Scootaloo's a kid.
No,
and
okay.
She does stuff, and I understand that. She's a kid.
Right, but keep in mind that Lightning Dust has no regard for safety whatsoever, so it's kind of like this is kind of expected.
Yeah, but it fits with their character, so I can understand that.
I think Scootaloo being eager to join made sense, and she only had second thoughts after seeing the actual stunt she was about to do. I thought that would fit perfectly.
Yeah,
but
but
here's
the question is, I was wondering if Scootaloo like practiced beforehand or even knew what the stunt was. Like,
apparently she knew what the stunt was because she was memorized it stalking Rainbow Dash and Twilight.
Oh, she was? Okay. I guess just seeing it be on top.
Yeah, but I guess seeing
it's like the end of the episode, but being at like the top of the hill, and you know, I thought that made sense. That's the point where she realized, oh, Rainbow Dash was right.
Yeah.
Actually, I think what really drew her attention and why this is going to be dangerous is that Lightning Dust was duct tape on the thing.
That's true. Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
I do wanna put out there about like Lightning Dust not being reformed. We got to remember about the whole Trixie reform scenario. Like, it took her a few episodes before she was reformed.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Show's ending. Let's just hope this is the last time we see Lightning Dust.
Yeah, I hope Lightning Dust stays antagonistic like that. I like that.
Yeah, same.
Just like one of the rare episodes that actually made me feel glad, and also I like how they acknowledge again that Scootaloo can't fly, and she actually had a legit reason to want to join the Washout.
Well, yeah, you know, they have always tiptoed around Scootaloo's handicap. Was this the first time we actually had that emotional moment where she yells like, "I can't fly"? Like, you know, is that the first time she addresses it so directly?
That's like the second time. I think so. It's the second time, because the first one being that one episode back in like season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one episode centered around her being disabled.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had her disability as part of episode for a long time, but this might have been the first time she personally addressed it so directly. I don't know. I don't know if there's something.
Yeah.
I like Spitfire's expressions. They were.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before, but I want to say it again for like the chat to hear it. But she did sound a lot like Ruby from Steven Universe.
Wait,
for
who?
those Ruby from Steven Universe.
Who did?
For
Spitfire?
Yeah, Spitfire did when she was like, you know, being all
Full body wing cast and full body wing.
Yeah,
Full
yeah.
body
Full body wing cast.
To anybody
Drinking
to
through a
anybody in the cast.
straw.
I love that. I want to make that my ringtone whenever I get a text.
Oh,
No,
nice.
I thought that was like a good response to the previous drill sergeant criticism
Come on.
that they weren't harsh enough. I remember that was like
Yeah.
a common suggestion in my videos, and
Yeah, I remember what was it? The military bronies react to it.
yeah, and in this episode, obviously it's still cartoony and silly, but I feel like they're kind of directly addressing that military criticism. I think that's kind of cool.
I like how
Yeah.
I thought Spitfire was a little shoehorned in there, but I could see why, because Rainbow Dash was like,
Well, yeah, we needed
Wonderbolt.
we needed the Wonderbolt representation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that she was shoehorned. I think Spitfire was important.
Yeah.
In a way.
I like this. It was a fun episode. Like, I like the stunts, and I also like the idea of former Wonderbolts getting together to basically stick it to the other Wonderbolts.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And plus, they have competition now.
Yep.
Yeah. I
So-
like.
so-
I think I said this already, but I really like how Rainbow Dash was the daredevil, but now the Washouts contrast her so harshly that she's like kind of forced into being the caring, almost parental figure towards Scootaloo. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I was annoyed about, which is just a dumb little annoyance, but I was kind of hoping the Shadow Bolts would return.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would have been cool. Like, instead of the Washouts, they were the Shadow Bolts.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel about that.
I don't know how that would work, to be
I
honest.
wouldn't have mind that.
I don't
But
think the Shadow
I-
Bolts actually exist. I think they're a myth or
They
something.
Yeah, they
don't,
don't
but
exist. That's the thing.
No, my theory is that Nightmare Moon knew about them, so she just like used them like as a as a disguise.
Well, I think we're going way back
But
here,
see,
but I think that was just
that's-
because of the Wonder Bolts. The Shadow Bolts were made up just for that. I think.
Yeah, like
I know, but I like the Shadow Bolts. I like those.
Go back to
Yeah,
the
I like
question,
the Shadow
guys.
Bolts too, but
Oh.
still
What if-
they're fictional. Just accept.
They're
it.
fictional
What if
within
they
the
were
fictional show.
Season 1 was much better.
What if they were like what if they were like a secret organization that nobody knows about, and they kind of like just send letters like you're invited to the secret organization,
Yeah.
That
and
would've
it's
been cool.
like to keep everything in order or something like that behind.
Like
Oh yeah, I
Cicada.
did like the part of this episode I really did like. I thought it was kind of funny of how Twilight was very hesitant on the whole idea, and then after she saw the show, she became a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. You know, that's kind of cool how they weren't all against the Washouts. Even Rainbow Dash thought they were really awesome and wanted, to talk to them and all that. So I like how it's not so black and white. It's not just, the evil villains against the main characters. There's a lot of complexity here. There's a lot of relationship issues here, too, with Scootaloo looking up to Dash and kind of turning her back on that because she feels like she's being controlled. And, there's a lot going on here. I love it.
And Rainbow Dash's ego was done in a way where it's kind of like funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I love
A
Rainbow
lot of
Dash
people
being
complain
ego.
about Rainbow Dash's ego, but here I didn't really have any problem with it because it felt in character.
Well, yeah, it's just a
It's
cartoon character.
more,
It's funny.
It's more like
It's like let's just go
I
to
guess.
your clubhouse and just destroy everything in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like Rainbow Dash was dealing with like an insecurity issue.
Oh, yeah.
Except,
Like, I don't have like any problems with this episode.
Okay,
or at
well,
least
we have to challenge ourselves here. Usually when we rant about an episode, I try to get you guys to say something positive. But what didn't we like about this episode? What could have been better?
That she was blatantly Oh, you go.
Oh, you go.
Okay, she was blatantly irresponsible with handling with a child. Like she's never dealt with kids before.
Who, Lightning Dust?
Yeah.
You're
it's
clipping, by the way.
Yeah, you're.
Oh,
perfect.
I'm sorry. But
no,
yeah,
I thought
she was
that.
blatantly irresponsible.
I think that would be in character for Lightning Dust because she's so reckless.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, like, that would look bad for her show, right? If they kill the kid or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
or the ratings would go up.
Yeah, maybe maybe that's the sort of crowd they draw. Who knows?
Holy crap! I wouldn't want to be a part of the. I wouldn't want to watch the washouts after that. Actually.
No, right? I don't know. I guess
But
I don't know.
It's a bad publicity stuff.
I guess the worst that could have happened was Scootaloo would have gotten hurt, and that would have maybe been good publicity. I mean, you can't really die in Equestria, can you?
No, you just go away and never
Applejack's
return.
parents. Applejack's parents.
Oh yeah.
Applejack's
No, they're
parents.
just at the
Storm
DMV
King.
still.
They didn't die. They just went to go get ice cream and never returned.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really.
Arabia right now. Don't worry about it.
All right, we're about to jump to individual ratings and reviews. Any last remarks before we do?
Not really. I don't. Oh, wait. Yeah, there was one thing. I liked how the very end of the episode, when they start the Scootaloo fan club, they showed Rainbow Dash's parents. That was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, actually, I do have a complaint, and that is the ending kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like as soon as the music starts playing, you know it's lesson time.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
just
mind it. It wasn't that bad.
Like all of a sudden, there's this Scootaloo fan club, even though she has like done this stunt, but then
Oh no, well,
No, this
I
is
thought-
Rainbow.
Yeah, that was
This is
Rainbow Dash's
Rainbow
doing.
Dash. This is Rainbow Dash starting the fan club.
Yeah, I was like, you know, just a fun send off.
And I can understand that because it's like, oh, that's actually a nice little twist. I
Yeah.
like that. That's cute.
I like that too.
and it just kind of came off to me, but maybe
I
that's
hate
just my
you.
personal opinion.
Why do you
I
hate
hate
ponies?
you.
No.
I hate.
Let's do the reviews. I'm ready for this.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
right,
jump
let's
into
do it.
individual ratings and reviews. All right, first of all, we got a couple new people here, so welcome Hojo Kono and Trichot.
Hey,
Good day, good day.
We're gonna start off with Drummer Shy though. What'd you think?
It
Oh,
was
I'm
pretty
sorry to
good.
interrupt, but really quick, everyone gets 2 minutes, by the way. So, all right, go ahead.
All right. Like this episode, you know, as Trichot said, it had a mediocre beginning. I just like, you know, the facial expressions from Spitfire. I think Nick Conflow did a great job writing this episode. I know we had a couple good ones from Nick Confalone. Again, Scootaloo can't fly, and they just completely ignore it and just go on. That I didn't like that part, but overall, it was an enjoyable episode, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Also, hi, let's see the rookie.
7 out of 10 for something they addressed in the episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, come on.
All right, well, hey, that's his rating.
Well,
All right,
hey, this is opinion.
all right, Hojo, what'd you think?
Well, I honestly loved the episode. Again, this is like.
Can't understand
We're having some Sorry, Hojo, but you're like a robot and you're clipping at the same time. It's hard to hear you.
Yeah.
I am sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, the problem is that she's like, from a parental perspective, she's a kid and they're putting her life in danger. And that's pretty much the main thing I have to say about it. I love the rest of the episode. I think, like, admitting, like, a lot of flaws, Rainbow Dash's big ego coming into play and everything. And I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, an 8 out of 10 from Hojo.
All right.
I'm next on the list, but I'm going to wrap things up, so we're going to jump down to Magma Master. What'd you think?
I actually, for once, don't have that much to say about this episode. I don't really have anything major to complain about. The episode was fairly functional and consistent, but I think the main reason why it didn't really entertain me that greatly was because it mainly had focus on characters that I don't really care for that much, so it's very subjective thing. But yeah, I wasn't really much into Lightning Dust in the first place, but I still guess it's kind of cool to have her back. And it was nice to see Rainbow Dash in the role of the responsible one for once. But overall, like I said, I didn't really care for it that much, even though it was solid and functional, so I'll only be giving it a 6.5.
What? All right. I'm going to have a conversation with you later about
Yeah,
that low
Magma,
rating.
Yeah, we're gonna have
a
to-
serious
we're having
talk
huge
about
problems.
this.
All right, Shady Games, you're next.
Okay, so I don't really have anything bad to say about this. I actually really enjoyed this episode. I want to say that Spitfire was probably the best thing in this episode, besides the return of Lightning Dust. Like, I got a lot of good laughs out of it too. Like, I want to say it's totally like Lightning Dust's character to put Scootaloo in harm's way, and because like that's who she is. She's totally reckless, and that's really all I gotta say. Just good things, really. Nothing too bad. I'm gonna give this episode a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, there we go. A higher rating. Tootsie, usually rant. What do you have to say? Give us a positive or negative.
Oh, my bad. Thing was muted. I don't know. I thought this was a very enjoyable. I have problems that I did have where could easily be explained by, oh, she's a kid. So I could, like, the one problem that I might have had would have been, I was like, oh, after like all this time, she just destroys all of Rainbow Dash's stuff, or not Rainbow Dash's stuff, but basically leaves Rainbow Dash just to join the Washouts for something that just happens out of nowhere. I thought that was a little annoying, but I could understand because, oh, she's a kid, and it's like, oh, all right, that could just be explained. The part with Lightning Dust, someone said that she's very reckless and wouldn't know how to handle, like, a kid putting her in danger. I don't know, I wouldn't agree with that, only because, I mean, didn't Lightning Dust say that most of the stunts were just for fun and aren't really that dangerous? But yeah, I just give it probably an 8 out of 10.
All right, 8 out of 10.
All right.
Who's next? Oh, try. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm actually pleasantly surprised. The development was good. I just hope the writers would follow through. But the overall premise and the characters, it was amazing. It was fun to watch. And how do I put this? Like I'm glad I got to see Lightning Dust. I really like the Washouts. I think that this episode has a lot of potential to become. I think this. Jesus Christ, I'm so nervous. Yeah. But for the most part, I really enjoyed this episode. I just have a few minor gripes, but as Tootsie said, they could easily be cleared out. So I'll give this an 8 out of 10.
All right, another 8. Does that make it my turn? Yes, it does. So,
yeah.
Where do I even start? I feel like this is an episode where it's actually difficult to like say anything negative about it. I really loved everything about the episode. I love how it's such a strongly character-driven episode. How the story kind of complements the characters, you know, because it's really about Scootaloo and looking up to Rainbow Dash and Rainbow Dash's ego and her insecurities, and then like I mentioned earlier, and I'll mention again, how Rainbow Dash actually takes the role of the responsible parent kind of in this episode, as opposed to the Daredevil we know her as from previous episodes and seasons. So I think this is great development for Rainbow Dash. I think it's great development for Scootaloo. Even Twilight has a strong role here, trying to give advice to Rainbow Dash. I like that little moment. We see more Spitfire. We see the return of Lightning Dust. Not only that, but Lightning Dust stays a rival. She stays the antagonist. I'm so glad they didn't like make her the good guy now and they become best friends. And you know, that would have been just annoying. That would have been so very season 8 of this episode to do. So, as you can probably imagine, a lot of season 8 episodes I'm not a giant fan of, but this is easily my favorite of this season so far, and also maybe one of my favorite episodes of the show. But that brings me into the only negative I can find, and it's more of an objective negative because personally it doesn't affect my rating. It relies a lot on the show's history. You know, you have to know about Scootaloo's character and Rainbow Dash and all these previous events they reference. If you don't know about that, you won't really get the full effect of the episode. But, of course, that could also be turned around into a positive, because that means the show is more of like a serial now. It's less of an episodic thing with each episode separate. I think that's really cool to see it continue like that. So, yeah, as a fan, obviously, I love this episode because of a bunch of reasons. It was really funny. Probably the funniest episode in a long time. I've laughed. Like, every minute I felt like I was laughing at some joke or some funny face or, you know, just overall such a great episode. So I don't think I can give this one any lower than a 10 out of 10. All right, let me calculate our average. Yeah, 10.
Oh, wow, okay.
All right, the average rating for the Little Shy Livestream for the Washouts is an 8.
Drum roll. Yep.
It's actually an 8.1, but we round to the nearest, so so it's an 8.
Yeah,
that sounds that's
my point. My 0.5 didn't save it.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. That'll conclude this week's episode. Stay tuned, though. We do this every week, so hope to see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.